What's up guys, we're back with another creator interview. Today we're interviewing DaddyMcQueen. You may know him as the creator of such levels as The Factory of No Tomorrow, Temple of Narhwal and Nebula Hades. But today, for the first time, we've actually got the creator playing himself, so my presence is redundant. Anyway, Stanley will read the questions and I'll just sit here quietly while DaddyMcQueen answers them, so whenever you're ready.
What is your favourite LBP game in the series and why?
LBP3, I'd have to say, which a lot of creators I know choose that, but it's simply because it is the most creative. I mean, I went back to play LBP1 earlier today, and you're just so restricted because you've got 16 layers in LBP3, and I think the depth and scope and what it can do and how much it can handle. Right?
All the tools are really helpful as well.
They added stuff in.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, and the ability. I mean, one thing we all take for granted, which I sort of think was brought in LBP2, is the ability to sort of make things invisible and be able to work behind layers. You know, so you can sort of delve back into layers if you made an error or fix things, and that is just, you know, immensely powerful. But yeah, there's loads of things in LBP3 that makes it a lot better.
Yeah, something so simple and yet so useful. So,
well, the broadcast chips definitely changed everything as well.
Yeah.
But I know these.
What would you say is the most useful creator tool then?
The broadcast chip?
Chips?
Or what?
Yeah, broadcast chip, because it allows you to put pretty much anything onto Sackboy. I did something where I made him breathe cold air. You can put power-ups onto him really easily. You can do anything. It's quite simple. Or you can have water splash off his feet. You can do anything. Loads of simple effects that look really nice.
Oh, cool.
And,
okay, so that's actually a more detailed answer into why it's the most useful creator tool that we've had. That's good.
Yeah.
So, where do you get your inspirations from then?
Probably from playing other people's levels, things I do, like going on walks on that, places I've been, pictures on the internet. It could be anything, pretty much anything, anywhere. I think the simplest things. It can even be a picture, you know, in a book, magazine, anywhere. You see something and you think, oh yeah, it'd be good to explore that idea, but take it further. Okay. You know, like you might like a lighting or something like that.
Is there any sort of theme that you prefer to work off then? Because I know like the level you have in the work, Songbird, and like Temple of Narhwal, Riddle of Cenote, they're all like some more nature-like sort of.
Yeah, I'd say I definitely like that because I tend to go on walks with the family and that, so I tend to be in foresty areas or woodlands and that, and so I'm probably definitely influenced by all that because I see it around me a lot. So
okay.
I'm sort of remembering that and try to put that into the game.
That's good. How long does it normally take for you to make a level? So I know you've been working on Songbird for a while, but I mean, how about the other levels? Did they take a long time or?
It depends. I mean, it can take anything from a couple of weeks to 4, 5, 6 weeks. It depends on, you know, whether the ideas keep flowing. Sometimes I find it's easier to put it down for a little while, come back to it because you have fresher ideas, or you look at it from a different angle and things that where you're thinking, I've run out of ideas. You'll suddenly think, oh yeah, I've got this idea, and I can do this, and this. From just playing through what you've created so far. So it depends really.
Yeah, so there's lots of sort of unpublished works then. Always lots of sample like sort of works that go part way and then they just never come to light.
But I think the reason why I don't publish a lot of things is if I notice something in there that's annoying in gameplay or something that I feel is broken, I won't publish the level. It's as simple as that. And that's just.
Do you have like sort of like a sort of framework process to do things, like you plan stuff ahead? Like you've got an idea, you plan it, you might, I don't know, draw it out or something, and then.
Because like someone told us that they just make a nice scenery and then they'll be like, oh, this would be a nice level, and then they'll flesh it out into a real level.
Yeah, I probably do something similar to that. What you should do, and I did with the Factory of No Tomorrow, is you should make everything in cardboard, your platforms, working out all your obstacles and everything else. Then you go over it, add your materials on, then your decorations, your stickers and everything else, and build it up and up and up. But the way that I know I do it, and I know a few other people do it as well, is they just create a scene and they go, yeah, I like that, and then they'll just keep expanding on that scene.
Yeah.
And that's the way I think a lot of people are working in LBP3, which is why you get some levels that don't flow as nicely, you know, as perhaps they should.
I guess.
gameplay wise, and that's why I struggle with gameplay, because I'm creating bit by bit.
Yeah, sort of it's more, you're sticking more to aesthetics than sort of
Definitely. I mean, one of my reviews, and I still remember it even now, is somebody said gameplay just doesn't happen.
What would you say is the favourite level that you've made yourself?
My favourite level is probably Songbird, but I quite liked Far Away, but that had problems, and that's why it got taken down. It was one I did just before I finished on LBP3. It was the last sort of level I did.
All right.
But
okay.
yeah, I would say definitely of the published ones, it's got to be Songbird demo at the moment. But I think Songbird, as I'm revising it, will become my favourite, if that makes any sense.
Any particular reason?
I just like what I'm doing with it. I happen to enjoy the fantasy style. I think it technically it looks quite nice as well. So
it's sort of like a sum of what you've learned, isn't it? Of everything that you've learned. So it's sort of probably you feel like you've achieved more with this level, with the Songbird level. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
definitely.
Good.
Although my Egyptian level that I'm currently working on as well, which hopefully will be published quicker than the Songbird level, I'm quite enjoying that as well.
Any tips for any other budding creators?
Yeah, I would say watch as many tutorials as you can on YouTube. That's where I picked up a lot of things, surprisingly enough. If you just search for tutorials on YouTube, because I know a few people that do them. I know Danix does a lot of...
Danix87, yeah, he's with
he does
tutorials.
He does lots of logic-based tutorials, but there are some people like that do visual-based. There aren't so many visual-based, which is why I'm going to start a visual-based tutorial YouTube channel. I think it's going to be a bit more helpful for people to be able to create better creations, because it is a bit daunting when you come into 16 layers if you've never done a creation on LBP ever before.
Is there anything that you wished existed in LBP that isn't already in? So like sort of features or tools?
Oh, that's a tricky question.
Because we know some people have been like saying, oh, there should be like a formal 3D camera and stuff. But lots of people they've made 3D logic, which works quite well. So it doesn't seem like
no, it works well like 20% of the time, and then like the other 80% just doesn't work well.
Yeah. Well, I know that a few other people have like used it, the 3D camera, quite well. I've never messed with it myself. I mean, I like the look of it. I'd like the ability to turn things a bit easier, objects, because when you're editing on the side, it's a bit awkward. You know, you can twist the camera a little bit, but I'd like to twist the camera a little bit more.
So sort of like more flexibility in sort of your own creative view.
Yeah, you do have to check from several angles that you've put that decoration in the right place. Because I use a lot of decorations, but I would also say that if you could have deco mounts that you could put in several layers, because you've got the layer decoration tool that allows you to put it in 4 different areas within a thick layer, but then you haven't got deco mounts that you can put in between each layer. So it'd be useful if you could have 4 different settings within a layer for a deco mount, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the people who can do something about it and are listening to this would understand what you're talking about. So we also know that you recently changed over from PS3 to PS4. So how was that experience of changing from the LBP3 on PS3 to PS4?
Is there any difference?
It was pretty smooth, yeah. LBP, it loads a lot faster now. I've noticed the difference. Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed, was I wasn't waiting around for levels to load for ages. I mean, you'd start them loading, you could go make a cup of tea, come back and sit down on PS3. And I know that people do moan about it, but I say to them, look, no, I know, I've got my PS3, I still occasionally go on there to do things, and it's a lot slower. So that's the main difference. It processes things a lot faster, but
so
it
does actually run better.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good news then.
So
okay, so
that shows you what it can do.
Talking of your other unreleased levels, the Egyptian one, we saw that you were collaborating with Breezy the Pro. Is there any sort of other creators
well, I
that
did
you have
collaborate with him. I just used
sort of are friendly with and stuff?
I just used his music, but I will always credit people when I use their music, because they've spent like might spend a day or a couple of days making a track. So you should credit them for it, you know.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we totally agree with that. You know, you've sort of spoken. You've been recently in a lot of contact with Scary Biscuit, and sort of you sort of
well, Scary Biscuit noticed my Vita level, so we've been chatting and that we chat a lot on Twitter and that sort of thing. So so he just came across and saw what I was up to, and I kind of got influenced by him. He was talking to me about things he does with lighting and told me a few tricks and tips, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really useful. So I'm going to start using things like that more in my levels as well.
That's cool. So that's good. It's like very collaborative. Like it's like
it's nice how the creators.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice how they.
Well,
it's like really community.
Well, the motto of LBP is play, create, and share. So
yeah. So it's It's good to know that creators are being very sharing and stuff.
Yeah.
So speaking of those, who are some of your favorite creators? We don't really want to put you on the spot, but just pick 3 that come to mind that you really like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Obviously, the Scary Biscuit, who we've mentioned. I can't remember. Space Monkey, is it? Who does?
Yeah, Space Monkey.
Creator of. Yeah, he's very good, and I do. And my boys absolutely love Dan X's Star Wars pack, so I think he needs another mention for that. Yeah, they've been running around with lightsabers in their pocket for, and in their levels for about the past week.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely love it.
That's cool. So then, who would you like to see us interview next?
Well, it's going to have to be Dan, isn't it? Really, Dan X87. Ask him about his Star Wars pack.
We will try to do that.
Try and speak to him.
We'll try to speak to him. This was the interview with creator DaddyMcQueen. We hope you really enjoyed this interview, and thank you so much for joining us, DaddyMcQueen, and sort of spending the time to go through with us and showing us behind the scenes stuff of your works, and also sort of giving us some tips as well in creation. So that's it's been really insightful speaking with you, and it's actually quite nice to actually have someone
actually showing up,
talking to us for the interview. That's a nice change from our text reply.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you like this interview, click the like button below, and definitely go check out Daddy McQueen's levels in the links in the description below. Queue them all up; they're all really good. And we hope you subscribe to leftstickrightstick to see future creator interviews. We've got quite a few amazing ones lined up, and as Daddy McQueen has suggested, we will be getting in touch with DanX87 as well. So I look forward to that, and we hope you enjoy.
Thanks again.